What's up, guys? It's Raul here with Nova. Today we're going to be talking about leash pressure. So leash pressure essentially is a way of communicating with your dog what you want them to be doing on leash. And it's funny because most dogs have learned to sit. Good. Most dogs have actually learned to apply leash pressure to us as owners. For you owners out there who have dogs that pull really bad, essentially the dog has learned that by pulling on the leash and adding this tension, right, they get what they want because you eventually come forward. And so the whole idea of training leash pressure is to reverse that so that you're teaching the dog that when they pull on the leash, they don't get what they want. Instead, when they come back to you and release that tension on the leash, that's when they get a reward. They get something beneficial to them. Otherwise, they don't get that squirrel, they don't get that tree, they don't get that plant that they want to smell. They have to come back to you and then they get a reward and then we can move forward together and it's safer. I work with a lot of shelter dogs that are primarily on slip leads and they are very, very strong pullers. I've seen people almost fall. It's something that I've been working on. I haven't really had a lot of experience with slip leads. I've always used a prong collar with Nova and she took to it very well. It's actually a really easy tool to use, but again, there's a lot of stigma and stuff. So when it comes to a slip lead, I think it's the safest and the easiest way to start learning how to use leash pressure. Now, sit. Good. So when you have a dog that's pulling on the leash and they're at the end of the line, what you initially want to do is stay there and don't allow the dog to pull you forward, because once you give in to that, they're going to learn that, okay, by pulling, I get that tension released. Instead, you want to teach them to come back to you and relieve that tension, right? So Nova's really good walking on leash. I, again, have used a prong collar on her before, and once I threw this on for the first time, the slip lead, she took to it. She works really well, but she does have a tendency to get ahead of me on her heels. Now it's raining really bad outside, so we can't do this outside today, but I'm gonna just do a little demo on what that looks like, okay? Nova heel. Good. So right here, no tension, right? You got a loose leash. She's following me. And what I might do too is I might pick up the pace. And I add a little tension and then it loosens. Tension and it loosens. Good. And I should have spaced that good and that reward out. So again, old habits. Yep. Good. Now I'll pay. Heel. Good. And I'm going to pay her a lot here because she loves her kibble. She is very hungry today. She hasn't had her lunch. Heel. Now I'm going to run by this a couple times. Little tension here, little tension. She catches up, tension comes off. I reached into my pouch there and I shouldn't have. Good. Good. Good heel. Tension, tension. She catches up. Good. I really need to work on exaggerating that time between saying my marker word good and giving her the reward. So just a reminder for you guys, because we're working together here. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a figure eight with her. Little bit of tension, and I'm gonna move into her. I'm gonna come out. I don't got much room to work here. Little bit of tension. Good. Pay her. Walk in. Heel. Good. And pay her. Now, if you have a dog that tends to be a little weird in the heel, what you can always do too is use the leash pressure to guide them back in. So if Nova's a little crooked, I'll actually probably do it just to show you. Yep. So I lured her there. I just want to do this as a demonstration. Sit. Good. So say you tell your dog heel and they're used to doing this, right? I had this problem with Nova for a long time. What I did was start using kibble to lure her into the right position, but you can also use your leash. She broke out of it, right? I told her sit, she didn't. I should technically say no and give her a little bit of a correction, but I want her in a heel right now, so I'm going to use leash pressure. Nova, heel, apply, pressure, pressure. See, so she's not where I want her to be, so I'm going to pull her out, add a little pressure, heel. Good, and now I'll pay her. She's right around where I want her to be in her heel. All right, so there's an idea. If you're working on a heel and you're trying to get this position a little cleaner, aside from luring, you can use the slip lead or any leash really. Again, if you're using something like a flat collar, it's not as successful because it's not as precise in terms of guiding your dog. So just reviewing, leash pressure is essentially just adding tension to the leash to guide your dog into the direction or position you want them to be in. And the dog learns that by turning off that tension, they get rewarded. All right? I hope that was helpful. See you guys in the next one. Good girl.